Hey guys, welcome to the couch. For some reason, the judges in this movie remind me of Power Rangers, but instead of running around in spandex, the judges in this movie actually get stuff done.
Intro!
Dredd.
So,
Dredd.
is basically about this society that hires basically the next generation of law enforcement called judges as judges, jury, and executioner for crimes.
Dredd.
Has a new judge named Anderson that he has to train. So Anderson and
Dredd.
go into this 200-floor tower for Anderson's first mission, which is run by this really freaky lady mob boss. So when Anderson and
Dredd.
enter the tower, creepy lady mob boss shuts down the entire tower so they can't get out and tell her entire gang to kill the two judges. And now we have our movie. There's not going to be spoiler Spencer in this video. That's right, he has a name. Because there's nothing to spoil. It's a very straightforward movie, and once that synopsis is done, it's basically them trying to get out of the tower. I heard the trailers for this movie were terrible, but three critics I really respect, John Campea, Chris Stuckman, and Jeremy Johns, all really liked the movie, so I thought I'd give it a try when I saw it for free on Amazon Prime. I can say one thing for sure, it wasn't dreadful. Oh my gosh, that joke made me feel like a math teacher. So there were a few things I really liked about the movie. First of all, the action's pretty solid. But if you don't like gore, don't see this movie. This movie is hard R, mostly for violence, and it shows. Another thing I really liked is how stylistic some of the things can get in the movie. For example, there's this drug that are called slow motion inhalers. And for all the movies that use slow motion, it's cool to see slow motion as a plot point. The Wachowskis would be proud. Wait. The Wachowskis would be proud. I also really like the gun and weapons in this movie. They're really cool. Like his gun, like he has different like modes on it and things he can do. Like sometimes there are fireballs coming out, sometimes they're like explosives, sometimes they're just normal bullets. I think it's really awesome. Oh yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, that Anderson is a psychic. And one of the coolest scenes in this movie is when she's using her psychic abilities inside one of the criminals' heads. I also really like the universe that
Dredd.
set up. It's just really cool. However, there are some things I didn't like in this movie. Well, not as much. I really wish I connected with the characters more, but for the movie they're making, it doesn't seem to be one of their goals. I think they just kind of want a straightforward action movie. Okay, these are incredibly minor gripes. I'm not sure if Karl Urban was going for this, but it felt like he was frowning the whole time. I'm not sure if that's just his natural, like, slate face, or if he was just going, like, the whole time. In case you couldn't tell, that was an exaggeration. Also, in the beginning of the movie, there's a scene with the motorcycle and it looks really fast and awesome. And then when four other judges show up, they ride them like mopeds. It's so anticlimactic. I thought this was a really good movie and I think you should check it out. However, I thought this was a good movie, but I think it would have made a great video game. Okay, this meta rant will make a lot more sense if you've seen the movie. I'm just going to talk about a few things that I didn't mention earlier in the review, but it's not spoilers because you haven't seen Spoiler Spencer. First of all, most action movies can be made into video games. They're at least decent. Second of all the judges have this thing on their wrist where they can get information from HQ. Third of all, if you play as Anderson most of the time, you can get tips from
Dredd.
Yeah, I'm not letting that joke die. Fourth of all, it's basically just like an escape story, and it would create a lot of tension of you just walking around the tower and you have to cut corners and you don't know what's going to be behind them. And you could have a whole bunch of gear, and your gun could have different modes on it, and you could basically control it like Call of Duty or Halo. In conclusion,
Dredd.
was a pretty good movie. I don't think you have to rush out to see it, but it's on Amazon Prime, so whenever you get time, I suggest you watch it at least once. Please subscribe below, and thank you for watching.